have that game with Portland on the 23rd of January. That's close. It's coming up. So, guys, they've, in essence, kind of had a week off here. So is there some benefit to this?
Well, Coach Duke wanted to play the game, and rightfully so, because they were down there. League officials decided to postpone it. It might not be the worst thing, simply for the fact that when do you get an extended stretch in conference play to heal some bumps and bruises and add wrinkles on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, it might help you in those areas, but for a team that's really clicking on all cylinders offensively, you're a creature of habit at this point in the year. It really messes up your practice schedule, particularly as you get later into the season. But look, this Gonzaga team is really taking their game to another level, particularly on the offensive end. You see what they've done here. The first three conference games are assisting on over half of their field goals made. And more importantly, guys, on the defensive glass, a real issue in non-conference where they gave up over 12 a game on defensive glass. They've only given up 5 offensive rebounds a game in league play, a total of 15 second chance points. They've really corrected an area where they struggled in non-conference.
And Dan, for Loyola Marymount, Mike Dunlap in his 3rd season, as I said, it's starting to feel different, isn't it? I mean, you're starting to see some structure emerge from Los Angeles.
It is. They're 8-7 to begin this season, and usually in a coach's tenure, you start to see a difference in year 3. He's got a nice mix of seniors with experience, grad transfers, as well as young newcomers who have a lot of versatility and athleticism. But here's the thing, if they're gonna make this a game tonight, if they're gonna keep it close, they need to keep it under 70. They must shoot a better percentage from Gonzaga, and in particular, they can do that by second chance points, and they must out-rebound the Zags. Those are difficult tasks, for sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on tempo. Remember the game against Akron. That's the kind of game that Loyola Marymount wants tonight. It's the Lions and the Zags starting lineup and tip-off when we come back.
Senior guard from Berlin, Arizona, number 10, Brendan Brown. A 6'5" freshman guard from Sweden, number 20, Eric Johansson. A 6'6" senior guard from Omaha, Nebraska, number 22, Roy Touch. A 6'7" senior forward from Pensacola, Florida, number 24, Shamar Johnson. And a 6'10" junior forward from the Czech Republic, number 11, Peter Herman. Head coach of the Lions is Mike Dunlap. He is assisted by Reggie Morris Jr., Patrick Senna, and Brandon Hayes.
It's time, kid. This is all in college to feel like going. It's game time. Let's go. This is what we do. Turn me up, Jalen. Lights out.
You are now about to witness.
Back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Gonzaga ranked number 5 in the country, Loyola Marymount in town. And it is West Coast Conference game number 4 on this season for the Zags. Of course, postponement against Portland, as we said in the open, will be made up on the 23rd of this month. Here's your starting lineup first for Loyola Marymount, brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Brandon Brown, Eric Johansson, Boy Touch, Peter Herman inserted into the starting lineup, and Shamar Johnson, the other frontline player for head coach Mike Dunlop. And the starting lineup for Gonzaga looking like this. Hasn't changed much throughout this season. And again tonight it'll be Jordan Matthews, Nigel Williams-Goss coming off a 36-point effort, West Coast Conference Player of the Week, Josh Perkins, Jonathan Williams, and the ever-present Shemek Karnowski. Jordan Matthews is going to tell us how Gonzaga's got to get better as this league season continues.
We're pretty reactionary at the beginning of games, right now. Instead of taking the push so long, so he's not going to do it. Because you can only do that so long before his team says, okay, you can hang it back for 40 minutes. You can beat them in 40 minutes. So you got to come out throwing haymakers, let them know that first you get time, second you get time. They don't have a chance.
Gentlemen, Jordan Matthews with one of our keys to the game, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Gentlemen, what are the others?
For me, they got to stay in the moment, which is tonight. With all the hype and the attention surrounding Saturday's upcoming game against St. Mary's, they need to make sure that they stay here tonight, they take care of business against a Lions team that can present some problems given their size and athleticism.
Yeah, Gonzaga needs to push the pace. They are scoring it at almost 90 points per game, top 10 in the country, while Loyola Marymount wants to play it in the upper 60s. GU, get the tempo going.
There's head coach Mark Few. His team unbeaten, 35-3 in his career against Loyola Marymount. I mean, he just simply hasn't lost many of his games, period. He wins over 80% of his games throughout his career. He's going to have that record against a lot of teams.
I tell people all the time, I don't care what you're doing in this life, to be successful at that consistency is difficult to do regardless of what it is you're talking about. It's a real testament to what he's doing.
Basketball time.
And we are underway. Gonzaga, Loyola Marymount. Nigel Williams-Goss with the basketball. And here's Perkins.
It'll be interesting to see how Loyola guards, if they're going to play straight up man in the post on Shemek, or if they're going to really key off Nigel, who was, we all know, at 36 against San Francisco the other night.
Herman with the block from Shemek Karnowski's first attempt of the game. And now the Lions will set up on offense and settle into that half-court set. Guys, you have to expect a fast start for Gonzaga. They haven't played in a week. They should have all kinds of kinetic energy.
You'd think, but you know, I'm telling you, athletes, teams are creatures of habit. You know, when you change things up once you get in the league, it can be difficult. I'm interested to see, do they come out flat, a little bit slow out of the gates, or like you said, Greg, do they have a ton of energy right away?
And Matthews stepped on the sideline there as he caught the basketball,
And look,
so a turnover.
And, you know, to Jordan Matthews' point, this is, you know, they've had issues throughout the year, but particularly in conference play, with respect to coming out early in games and really setting the tone. So I'm not sure a week off helps you with regards to trying to correct that habit.
Boy Toch with the basketball. And now the shot away from Johansson is long for three. Herman with the rebound. Left-hand shot is up, rolls off. Karnowski tips it to Goss, who saves it. Nigel up the floor to Matthews. And the Lions doing a good job as you see them fronting Williams inside, guys.
Yeah, well, you talk to Gonzaga's staff, they anticipate the Lions are going to look to be physical. As Goss gets the nice touch off the rim, knocks down a little floater. Look, the Lions are going to try to be physical. They're going to try to slow it down to Dan's key to the game. And they've got some size and athleticism that most teams in this conference don't have. So they may not have the talent level as the Lions turn it over, but they've got some of the athletes that could give Gonzaga problems.
Each team with a turnover now.
Well, they're deep. They will go 10-11 deep. Yeah. And what that can do is create some issues for Gonzaga's stamina, wear them down a little bit. They're not going to be too concerned about fouls.
And also, it's difficult as Williams-Goss turns it over. It's difficult to scout the Lions because from night in and night out, you're not sure who's going to start. You don't really know the rotation they're going to use. So you've got to prepare for, like you said, Dan, 10, 11, sometimes 12 guys.
12 on the shot clock. Toch with the ball. Karnowski way outside defending. Williams-Goss got there late. Toch buries the three, and the Lions with a 1-point lead.
He can do that. 22nd three on the season. He's really improved from a year ago. Last year, averaged about 4 a game. Shemek turns to that right shoulder with that jump hook we've become so accustomed to. But Toch has really improved. This year, he's averaging about 12 a game. He brings good size and length on the wing.
Both these teams with 7 different leading scorers this season. So both teams are balanced, and both teams will look to different individuals to set the tone offensively.
One of the interesting things from Gonzaga when you talk about leading scorers is
Foul number 11.
Throughout the whole season, they haven't had the same leading scorer in back-to-back games. That shows you if somebody has a good game and a team keys on them the next game, somebody else is able and willing to step up.
That foul called on Peter Herman, his team's first, and Peter checks out. And replacing him is Stefan Jovanovic.
Luxury for LMU that they didn't have last year. Jovanovic, a grad transfer from Hawaii, a starter for a team that won their first game in the NCAA tournament a season ago.
He's really effective around the rim, too. Third in the league in field goal percentage. He's a nice player up front.
Williams Goss wide open after the entry to Karnowski. Nothing new for Shimmick.
Yeah, Craig, you see it. He just draws so much attention. He's such a rare breed at the college level. A true five that really it just commands a double team.
And that shot short. Karnowski now third on the team in assists, playing the 5 position. Williams, nice catch. Spins baseline, left hand falls off. Toch clears it for Loyola Marymount. Toch right into Karnowski. A lot of contact, no whistle. Matthews now with Perkins and the lay-in at the other end. And it's a 9-3 Gonzaga lead.
Timeout, LMU.
And timeout Loyola Marymount. The Lions have started this game 1 of 7 from the floor. The Zags 4 of 6. With open shots like that, Zags lead at 9-3 in the early going. Gonzaga Hoops is brought to you by Northern Quest. It's your ultimate destination for fun. Gonzaga Hoops is brought to you by Northern Quest. It's your ultimate destination for fun. Experience true Vegas-style gaming, stay in a luxurious hotel, see a spectacular show, and eat in the finest restaurants all under one roof. Visit northernquest.com today to learn more. And welcome back, Gonzaga. On a 7-0 run in the last minute 42, LMU has started the game 1 of 7 against the 9-3 start, and it's been a balanced team offensively for head coach Mark Few all season long, and we expect that to continue throughout the year, don't we?
Yeah, without a doubt. There's 2 other guys that are hovering awfully close to the double-figure mark, and Silas Nelson and Jonathan Williams. But you know that game, or that streak of player leading the team and scoring back-to-back might be in jeopardy because Nigel Williams-Goss again has that look in his eye, similar to what he had at San Francisco.
Long way to go. And Goss has made 14 of his last 17 field goals now. He's in a groove. This is Jovanovic into the corner. Shot for 3, up and good by Eric Johansson.
Good execution there by Loyola Marymount. Set play coming out of the timeout. Little hammer screen to free up Johansson on the opposite baseline.
I mean, Johansson can't get loose. You know, 39 of his 44 field goals attempted this year from 3. I mean, that's all he's doing. As Goss misses the layup. You've got to stay attached to a shooter like Johansson.
Touch into the corner. And again, as we have a whistle and a foul called on Boyd Toch of LMU. That's his first, and that is the team's second.
To give credit to Williams Goss there, fighting through screens. Toch may have moved a little bit at the end. Goss, by his willingness to continue to fight over the top of screens, got that call.
Boy, it is absolutely quiet in this building.
This is something that is unheard of for the Kennel. This is a place that you normally rock in one of the best environments of all. It's college basketball. People complain that they don't have a chance to get to this arena to see Gonzaga. Well, there's no excuse. When the students are gone, there's plenty of seats available. People are showing up late and being quiet here this evening.
Number 2, Kelvin Amayo with the basketball for LMU. I mean, you can at home, I'm sure, hear all of the players on the floor communicating, which coaches are always yelling at them to do. 5 on the shot clock. Spinning jump hook away and good by Shamar Johnson.
That's good defense by Shema Karnowski, but Shamar Johnson, great balance, the ability to pivot away and score over the top.
Perkins, his first attempt is good. And he extends the lead back to 4.
His man Tutu went down to double. Shemek, not only does he have a good field to him, but he's so quick with his decisions out of those double teams. He knows exactly where he wants to deliver the ball.
Boy, no hesitation that time from the shot by Jovanovic. Williams has it slapped away. It's poked into the corner, and it remains with Gonzaga.
Well, Richard, you talk about no hesitation in delivering it, but you know, the fact is that you draw a double team, you read it, you see it. There's a time to wait until a defense fully commits when their body, their momentum is taking them to the double team, and that's what Shemek has become so good at, is understanding when a defender is fully committing to the rotation or to the double team, and that's when he delivers the pass out.
Silas Melson, Killian Tilley, and Zach Collins on the floor now for Gonzaga as Williams, Karnowski, and Nigel Williams-Goss go to the bench. And now a whistle and a stoppage of play. Did the clock not set right? Or did they call a turnover? They call a 10-second call on that?
They did.
Was that possible?
Well, the shot clock said 19 when the ref blew the whistle.
It did, you're right.
Money, 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 money.
And now the turnover. Right back to GU. Tilley keeps it and scores.
See that more from Killian here in conference play. He's so crafty with those little floaters in the lane. And he's got that ability on a turnover, a rebound. He can bring the ball up the floor. And if you don't pick him up, he's a good enough scorer where he can finish around the rim.
And it's Gonzaga basketball again. 4 turnovers now on the Lions.
Ball pops into Tilley's lap, and the ability as a 4-man to push it up the floor is very valuable. Tilley taking it all the way to the rack, a little teardrop over the top. And he had his best, I think, all-around game at San Francisco the other night. 12 points, a career high, 6 for 7 from the field.
8 rebounds too. All around for sure. I mean,
yes.
Collins, nice catch. Squares to the basket. Got his own miss back, goes up strong, and he's fouled by Stefan Jovanovic.
Sticking with it there, Zach Collins. A great little rip-through attack on the strong side. Jovanovic got a hand on the first one, but Collins sticking with it as he does so well on the offensive glass, giving him a chance at 2 free throws. And I think one of the most unique aspects to Collins' game as a freshman is his ability to get to the free throw line. Leads this Gonzaga team with free throw attempts.
That foul on Jovanovic, his first, team's 3rd. Time now for tonight's fan trivia question brought to you by Arby's. How many times has Gonzaga a player scored 40 or more points in a single game against the Lions? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Text your answer to 27297. And Tilley with some contact there on Brown. 10 on the shot clock, poked away Silas Melson. He's got 3 Lions converging, and he can't get it in with his left hand. Back comes Loyola Marymount. Brandon Brown, the three is good. They've shot the ball well from behind the arc as Loyola Marymount, but not really well anywhere else.
Oh, Brandon Brown's got a lot of freedom on this team. Usually he operates in pick and roll situations, but that time, catch and shoot three.
Collins the miss. Rebound by the Lions, and this is Brown. Loyola Marymount 3 of 4 from behind the arc, 4 of 11 overall. Jovanovic at Collins, too hard. Poked out, grabbed by Brown, new clock. Deep three, Stephen Haney, that rattles out. And a foul called on Zach Collins. That'll be his first. The first foul we've seen against Gonzaga with 11:31 to play first half. Brown dialing it in from long distance. Loyola Marymount trailing the unbeaten Zags by 4.
All right, listen up, Bulldogs. The official breakfast of the Zags basketball has got you covered all season long. You can get a free sausage McGriddle on every home game day. Only available on the McDonald's app, so download it today and go Zags.
Number 5, Gonzaga leading Loyola Marymount 15-11 with 11:31 to play first half. Gentlemen, we've seen slow starts by Gonzaga as we take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Alaska Airlines. The big showdown against St. Mary's on Saturday before going at Santa Clara, home against Portland, at Portland, and then San Diego. Again, another, I don't want to say slow start because it did get off to a great early start, but it hasn't been dominant. So is there a chance they're already looking past this game to the showdown with St. Mary's?
I mean, if they were, would it be surprising? I don't think they're looking past them. I mean, that would imply they're not taking the line seriously, but you know, you have a week off, and it's kind of an odd change to your schedule as Matthews gets fouled going to the rim here in transition. Look, credit who they're playing. Look, the WCC, they're familiar enough with Gonzaga's program. You see, it's the same recipe now, fourth game in a row. Slow down the tempo, try to control things on your offensive end, take good shots, get back in transition, and force Gonzaga to have to play some in the half court because they're so good in transition. And we've seen that now tonight to start from LMU.
14 fouls on the Lions, and Matthews at the free throw line. And Dan Jordan, first 10 games, averaged 2.1 makes from behind the arc. Last 5, almost 4 a game.
Well, I think what he's doing is he's starting to really understand where his shots are going to come from in the offense, just how effective he can be when he spaces the floor, when Shima Karnowski is being doubled in the post, when Nigel Williams-Goss is coming off pick and rolls.
That's a good point. He 3 years at Cal playing with an entirely different group of players. It takes a while, particularly when you don't have a redshirt year, to kind of figure out your role, you know, where you're going to get the ball.
Boy, another turnover picked up by Matthews. Lions do a good job getting back, but a foul called, and Matthews going back to the free throw line. LMU now 6 turnovers in their last 11 possessions.
7 on the game, Greg. You just can't afford to do that.
Calvin Amayo didn't look happy. And Dan, you and I were talking before the game, number 2, Amayo for LMU. Looks like he picked the wrong sport to me. He should be playing football.
He's
got
the build of, you know, a tight end.
And Look, non-conference versus conference. Matthews and Perkins and Collins.
Look, to kind of wrap it up with Matthews, something else that I think has been critical is he's kept shooting the ball. It sounds simple, but when he struggled, I think often, when you're the new guy, it's natural to kind of crawl back into his shell and say, you know what, it's not working right now. I've got to pick my spots. They've really encouraged him to shoot. He's continued to shoot. He's such a good shooter. You've seen the benefit as you see the tough finish up front here from LMU. Jovanovic with the tough finish.
And the foul called there on Killian Tilly. And Mark Few's message today at shoot-around to his team was, look, this is going to get very physical. They want the physicality element into this game, and you just saw it on that play. There were some big bodies banging inside.
Well, you see it on cross screens and down screens. I call it pinball action. If you're a help side defender in there, there's no point in being hugged up against your men. Be in the lane, kind of pinballing the offensive players around the other, making life difficult around the bucket. LMU does a really good job of that on both ends of the floor.
Jovanovic missing the free throw. Collins clears it. Tell you, Coach Dunlop really works the rotation for LMU. It seems like it's rare that a whistle doesn't involve a substitution.
People talk about Gonzaga's depth. As Nelson with a tough finish in the lane. But for LMU, he's got fresh guys out there at all times. He goes deep into his bench.
Jeffrey McClendon, number 25, with the basketball right now for the Lions. First look at him.
If you look at Coach Dunlap's philosophy as Tutu knocks down a three, is he wants to recruit the LA area. I've always thought of it the same way. Is you might not be recruiting the guys who are going to be a Pac-12 player or UCLA, USC, but there are plenty of good players in the LA area. If you get a couple diamonds in the rough, you got a chance to turn around your program in a hurry.
And the foul called there on number 25, Jeffrey McClendon, his first, team sixth. And Silas Melson, this is where I think his game has changed so much this year. Aggressive, looking to score, but putting the ball on the deck.
Oh, he's putting the ball on the deck. He's attacking the paint, but he's getting his shoulders down and getting them by the defense, which is so unbelievably important. It puts him in an attack position, puts the defense in a foul-prone position.
Tough pass from Tilly there. And the turnover for Gonzaga, their fourth. And here's Amaya inside. Tilly tried to block it. And a foul called against the Zags, their third. And they give it to Tilly, I'm sorry, and that's his second. And this puts Kelvin Amayo at the free throw line. He's a senior out of Hillside, New Jersey. 6'4", 225. Shemick and Williams back into the game. Collins and Tilly going out.
Well, we saw this graphic there quickly. We talk about the slow starts for Gonzaga. That stat right there highlights the difference in both halves for Gonzaga.
Offensive rebound off that miss. Melson sold that, and McClendon picks up his second personal foul. That's 7 now on Loyola Marymount.
McClendon didn't like that call, but I think it was the correct one. Silas Melson doing a good job. He did, he sold it, but it's also, hey, he took it in the chest. It's a charge. But I think if you go back to Richard's point about, every team gets up and gets ready to play Gonzaga, and they know they got to give it their best shot early in the game. Gonzaga just wears teams down with their depth.
Johnson clears the rebound off the Matthews miss. His first look from three is off. That shot by Tutu is off, and back come the Zags. Karnowski running with the catch, throws it up. Matthews with the follow. Karnowski was looking for the foul and didn't get it.
Oh, I'm sure Karnowski's asking for an assist at the scorer's table as he runs back down the floor, but good job by Jordan Matthews not dying on a play.
And Karnowski with the block at the other end. Gonzaga ball, and that gets the crowd into the game.
We're going to take another look at it. Silas Melson trying to thread the needle Well, really, there was nothing there. Shemmick throws it up off the glass, and Matthews cleans up the mess.
It's a tough ask for Shemmick there in transition, try to catch that and finish that in traffic.
Look, though, it's been obvious to watch over the first month and a half of the season to see his conditioning change.
Yeah, it's
two
been
and a half
remarkable.
months now.
Even just visually, you've seen him drop some weight. He's so much stronger than he was even just last year. And the confidence.
Williams high with that jump hook left-handed, good.
Great patience, and when he can get on balance, he's so athletic. And you saw that he got his balance, able to elevate over the defense. You can't block that shot.
His first points of this game. Touch. Back door. 2-2 went back door. They missed, and here's Amaya with 8 on the shot clock.
Crowd wanted a double dribble. I think they were right.
Spinning Amaya. Matthews ties him up. And alternating possession will stay with Loyola Marymount. 7:50 to play first half. Mike Dunlop's team playing hard. They trail by 7.
Brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of Healthy Smiles and your Gonzaga Bulldogs. All right, Tech fans, it's time for the Smile Cam. Let's show off your best smile. See if you can make it up on the big screen.
With 7:50 to play first half between Loyola Marymount and Gonzaga. And here's your answer to tonight's Arby's trivia question. How many times has a Gonzaga player scored 40 or more points in a single game against LMU? I got one of those guys sitting next to me. Zags 4. That game at LMU, we hit like
all in the first half.
7 or 8. I know. Threes, you didn't hit 40?
I didn't have 40 either, Greg.
No.
Let me guess. That
Maybe combined in your career, did you hit 40?
At LMU, I don't know, man. I
have to go back.
Just 2 games. You know.
Off the inbound jump shot, way off as you hear the shot clock go off. Johansson with the miss. Karnowski can't catch that one. And Williams keeps it alive for the Zags. Williams Goss. Williams, the 3 ball. Boy, Jonathan is, when he can do that,
he doesn't shoot a lot of them.
So hard to defend.
He doesn't shoot a lot of them, but he shoots such a great percentage. 57 coming into tonight from beyond the free-throw line. Super selective with it, but it's a nice wrinkle to his game.
Boyd Touch with the answer. And Loyola Marymount really staying in this game from behind 3. Now 5 of 7. 15 of their 19 points coming from behind the arc.
You got to run them off the 3-point line. Nigel Williams-Goss went under the pick and roll, allowing Touch the ability to stop behind and knock it down.
How about that effort from Jonathan Williams, though, to try to keep that alive as Brown scores at the other end. Transition defense not good there for Gonzaga, and a foul called against Shamar Johnson. And that'll be 18 fouls on LMU.
Transition defense, as you mentioned, not good. Got to get back, protect the rim, protect the paint, stop the ball. Gonzaga did none of those 3 things.
So Shemmick at the free throw line. Oh, that looked good.
On a career year. Shade under 60%. Hey, when you struggled as much as he has, He's clearly put in the time.
1 of 2.
Jinxed him. My bad. My bad.
Brandon Brown, look at Karnowski showing way out. Brown's 3 ball short. And the rebound and up and good by Matthias Markussen. And a chance for 3 for him. And Karnowski picks up his first personal. That is 4 on GU with 6:32 to play.
Marcus doesn't play a lot, but see, Karnowski has to hedge out. Perkins is late coming back out recovering, so that opens up the offensive glass and puts Karnowski in a tough position.
So Matthias at the line. And he converts the 3-point play for head coach Mike Dunlap.
You know, when you turn it over 9 times, as the Lions have done, it helps correct a lot of those errors. We shoot 62%, 5 of 8 from 3. Look, this is a team in the Lions that.
Whoa! How many of those has Karnowski had in his career? A 2-handed flush.
Most of them this year.
And a foul call. And the foul called there on Markussen.
Great swing on the offensive end for Gonzaga, and Shemek Karnowski holding the seal and then releasing when the pass gets there.
Well, look
so
how
we can
high
finish with the flush.
He's driven the defender so far up the lane. All he's got to do is drop step.
Guys, the Lions already with 10 turnovers. Their season high is 17. Generally do a good job of controlling possession. As a foul called there, and Karnowski going back to the free throw line.
And, you know,
team foul number 10 on Loyola Marymount.
And they've been able to mitigate that tonight, Greg, with the fact they've shot the ball so well from 3. But this is a team in the Lions that's last in the conference from behind the 3-point line. So you don't anticipate they'll be able to continue to shoot at this rate. They've got to shore up the ball. You know, at some point, turning it over at this rate is going to cost you the basketball game. Dunlap cannot be pleased.
Checking in for the Bulldogs, number 32, Zach Collins.
I think we have some blood here, Greg.
Williams. Number 15, Stefan Jovanovic.
On his right hand as Collins has to come in and check in for him. Karnowski knocks down the first free throw.
Shemek now 2 of 3 from the line. And you see Williams over there getting attended to with that right thumb. Shemek hits them both.
Not going to say anything, Dan.
He has been
after
working
he makes
at it.
him, 3 of 4. Brown weaving his way, but that Zag defense kind of flowing with the ball there. And another 3-point shot up and good by Eric Johansson.
Sometimes you just got to tip your cap to the offense, say nice shot. That time, Johansson comes off about 3 pin down screens, knocks down the 3 on the little dribble handoff.
6 of 9 for 3 now with this LMU team. And Karnowski now scoring at will. 7 or 9 points for him.
And that fadeaway, didn't have that first 3 years of his career. It's really changed his repertoire there on the low block. Everything for his career was so right shoulder dominant.
Karnowski with the defense there to stop Jovanovic. Karnowski has scored the last 7 points for the Zags and then clears the miss. Williams Goss into the paint, tries the score, falls off. Collins keeping it alive. Nigel's got it back, missed that short. And Jovanovic clears it for Loyola Marymount.
A lot of contact there.
I like contact in basketball. Boy Toch inside. And the foul. I know, Dan, you never like contact. You like that free-flowing game where you could just weave in and out and shoot it at will, right?
Oh, God.
Freedom of movement. He's a freedom of movement guy.
Yeah, he's a big-time freedom of movement guy.
The game of basketball is obviously a contact sport, yes, but it is a game that is based upon free-flowing skill
And soapbox.
and
Go.
fundamentals.
Gosh. Did you ever see Charles Oakley or Anthony Mason play? That was beautiful basketball.
Gonzaga, number 0, Silas Nelson.
Competitive.
2 people have different definitions of the word term beautiful for the game of basketball, I guess.
33-28 our score. I love getting your goat. Touch makes it a 4-point game. Nigel now setting up the offense. Perkins. As Karnowski and Collins are battling inside. The Lions, though, not allowing them to even get position. And finally, the foul is called inside. And it's on Trevor Manuel, the freshman out of Lansing, Michigan.
He's the player that has a lot of upside and a lot of promise for LMU. He originally started off at University of Oregon for Dana Altman and the Ducks. Transferred midway through his freshman season, starting to play really well.
Zags into the double bonus now. Zag fans, tonight's game sponsor is Itron. The way we manage energy, the water will define this century. Join Itron in creating a more resourceful world. And Collins right now struggling at the line, 1 of 4. But we had a lane violation there, so he's getting another crack at it. Zach normally a good free throw shooter. Deep bend to the knee, shot up long, and Nigel Williams-Goss with the offensive rebound. Perkins, the 3 is good.
What a luxury to have a point guard like Nigel Williams-Goss, who's able to rebound as well as he does. Give him a second chance.
Almost the 11th turnover for the Lions.
Weave action up top. Usually goes into an isolation or a pick and roll up top. That time Brandon Brown getting in the paint. Foul pressure on the Zags.
Foul called on Josh Perkins. That's his first, team 6th, 3:54 to play first half. Gonzaga Hoops is brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Zag fans, show your Bulldog pride with your Go Zags depth. Gonzaga Hoops is brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Zag fans, show your Bulldog pride with your Go Zags debit card. Only at Numerica. And welcome back to Spokane, Washington. Number 5 Gonzaga with a 36-29 lead against Loyola Marymount. If you're wondering, Loyola Marymount guys is used to playing in close games. They know how to play in these games. 3-3 on these numbers. They dubbed themselves the Cardiac Lions. They haven't always won them, but as you can tell by these scores, they keep it close.
Games, 4 of them are decided by 1 point, and in those games they were 2-2. The other game was a 5-point loss to BYU where they were in it till the end, and they gave St. Mary's all they could handle as well.
There's Mike Dunlap. This team is very organized. They play hard. Timeout. Did they get it in time? No. I think the official on the baseline is saying they did not get the timeout in time. So that's a turnover, number 11 for Mike Dunlap and his Loyola Marymount Lions.
The official here towards half court overruled the baseline official and granted a timeout to LMU.
So through the screen there, you see him over on the sideline calling the timeout.
Yeah, exactly.
So good job by the officials there to communicate. So not a turnover for LMU, and they'll keep the basketball with 3:54 to play, down by 7. So if you're Mike Dunlap, you've got to understand, look, we've been 6 of 9 from behind 3. It's really why we're still in this game. That's not going to continue. You have to assume that, right? So they got to get other things going. What is it?
First, they got to protect the ball. 10 turnovers here with still about 4 minutes left to play. Just way too many turnovers for a team that throughout the year has protected the ball. And look, we've seen this now, Greg, throughout the season. This last 2, 3, 4 minute window of the first half for teams on the road here at the Kennel is critical. You can't allow Gonzaga to extend their lead going into half. You've got to stay close.
One disagreement I would have with that is they don't have the energy from the crowd that they're used to. This crowd right now is dead silent. I mean, granted, they don't have the students here as usual, but you don't get a chance to get to a game here at the Kennel. Make the most of it when you do get in this building.
Herman with the miss. You saw Williams Goss flying through there trying to grab the rebound. Williams strong, and he controls that loose ball. The Lions 4 of 17 inside 3. As Karnowski scores again. 2 more for the big guy. He's into double figures with 11.
As efficient a half as I think he's played this year. I think in that first half at Pacific on New Year's Eve, it would be comparable just because of the way he was passing the ball out of double teams, but tonight he's scoring it.
There's an inside bucket. Boy, Toch.
Look, until the league figures it out, you just keep getting the ball inside of Karnowski. He's averaging 15 the first 3 games of the league. I don't think there's an answer for him in the conference.
I mean, I think, you know, you're right. I think Lawndale at St. Mary's has size to match up with him.
They've taken weight off of him,
Mika at BYU, but then LMU's got good size, but as Silas Nelson knocks down that 3.
I just don't think you can cover him one-on-one for 40 minutes, while he's out there on the floor, and you double him, and he creates a whole other set of problems. My point being is he's such a difficult matchup. I don't know how you slow him down.
And nice finish inside.
Basket by Tosh.
And Toch has scored again. He's got 12 points for the Lions. And Melson able to walk right in there, but missed it. It's tipped out, picked up by Brown.
Let's go up and dunk it, young man. We've seen his ability to finish over the rim. You thought that was coming there.
Boy, Toch, another shot. That's short. Jovanovic keeps it alive for the Lions. And a new clock as we're under 2 minutes to play here first half. This is Herman against Karnowski.
Well, I think,
and he's able to finish.
I think to your point, Richard, how you attack Shimon Karnowski is you do that on the offensive end. You make him guard. You really try to go at him on the block, but you're also putting him in a lot of pick and rolls, which we've seen some teams do. LMU hasn't done enough of those, in my opinion, this evening.
Yeah, I think the best defense against a great offensive player is to force him to guard. That's a great point.
Williams, deep 3. Williams, another one. Jonathan with 8 points.
You leave him open from 3 right now. That's his job and his duty to let it fly. As well as he's shooting it from deep, he has been very selective as Brandon Brown misses a 3. He's been selective, but when you're shooting it that well, start searching it out a little bit.
Williams Goss. Williams, nice finish. Great patience, as you guys always point out.
Pump fake, let the defense fly by. That's a fourth-year junior right there.
This is Gonzaga's largest lead now, gentlemen, as we're under 30 seconds to play first half. This is Jovanovic, number 15, with the basketball. For those of you wondering, he's Serbian. Normally it's pronounced Jovanovic. We've checked with the SID. We've been told it is Jovanovic. 2 on the shot clock. Toch's shot is off. Williams tipping it around. He and Herman battle. Karnowski saves it for the Zags. Perkins, Williams Goss, he did not get it off. I don't think that shot would have counted had it gone. Gonzaga leads 46-35. Not to bring this up, but a week or 2 ago I called the game with Bill Walton, and I asked him, I says, you can't win them all, can you, Bill? You can't. And he looks at me and he says, why can't you? The Zags have won their...
here comes your Gonzaga.
Welcome back to McCarthy Athletic Center. Shemek Karnowski, 11 points, 3 assists in that first half for the Zags. They lead the Lions of Loyola Marymount by 11. Second half, straight ahead.
Starters in the second half.
46-35 to start the second half in Spokane. Number 5 Gonzaga unbeaten in the season, 15-0. Loyola Marymount once again keeping it close. It's been their MO this entire season. And they shot the ball well from behind the arc. And another second half performance like that from behind the arc, Dan. They keep it close and you never know.
Well, they shot it well from beyond the arc like you mentioned. They've got 7 offensive rebounds. What's hurting them is the fact that they had 10 turnovers in the first half. That's completely unlike them throughout this early part of the season.
That didn't hurt him as much as you'd think. Only 7 points off those turnovers for GU as Karnowski picks up right where he left off in the first half. An easy left-hand jump hook in the middle of the lane.
Well, Lmu goes zone, but that zone created a wide open middle for Shemek to flash.
And losing the handle there is Johansson. He got it back. Wojtach had a nice first half for LMU, number 22. 12 points. And Karnowski got up in the air and fell into Shamar Johnson, picking up the personal foul, his second.
That's a rarity for Shemek to leave the floor to contest a shot. Usually he does a really good job of holding his ground and just being straight up and down. Shamar Johnson, nice little up fake to create Shemek flying up in the air, create the contact, get to the line for two.
Shamar, a senior out of Pensacola, Florida, 6'7", 255.
What are his football prospects, Greg?
Well,
is he going to play for your Steelers?
They don't need any help, trust me.
As long as he got Big Ben.
Oh, is he good or what? 1 of 2 for Johnson.
Two-2-1, full court press by LMU. Try to get Gonzaga just to speed up.
We didn't see much of this in the first half from the Lions, which is just changing the look defensively. I think that goes a long way when you're playing against Gonzaga. You can't allow them to get a steady dose of any one type of defense.
Williams-Goss got inside, hung and hit it.
When you get your big fella out there switched on to Nigel Williams-Goss, you've got to be aware defensively. That time, nobody helping out. Allowing Nigel Williams-Goss getting the paint for a little floater.
7 points after he scored 36. His last game, Player of the Week honors in the West Coast Conference with just 1 game. Goes to show you how good that game was, and no foul there. A lot of contact, no whistle. Perkins stepped on the sideline. Second time we've seen that. Early in the first half, we saw Matthews do that, and now Perkins. As we take a look at the first half stats brought to you by the Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel.
Points in the paint jump right out at me. Shemek Karnowski, Jonathan Williams really doing a number on the interior for Gonzaga in that first half.
Nine or 8 now on the shot clock. Brown wildly got it inside. Jovanovic tries to score. Falls off, and Williams the rebound. Jonathan with his 5th rebound. Williams-Goss in and out. Rebounded Shamar Johnson. Poked away by Perkins. And now there's the unforced turnover. Toch is going to watch it go out of bounds, and so turnover number 11 for Loyola Marymount and head coach Mike Dunlap. And it's uncharacteristic. Their season high is 17. And when you go on the road, especially against a team like this, you can ill afford to do that.
They average less than 13 a game. They have a positive turnover margin. So throughout the year, they've protected the ball. And part of that is Gonzaga's high-level defensive team, but right there you see that's just an unforced turnover.
Karnowski, Jovanovic defensive, and that's still easy.
He's got the hook, he's got the little up and under, now he's got the fadeaway. It's a really tough cover, you can't speed him up. Look, if you're not going to double him, he's 7'1", let's say 300 pounds. I mean, he's going to get to where he wants to be.
But at some point, defensively, you have to realize all bets are off. My teammate's getting back down. He's literally under the rim. You got to go help.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And Gonzaga ball here. Here's Williams-Goss driving. Free throw line jumper is short. And the rebound by Shamar Johnson. So Williams-Goss now, guys, 3 of 10 in this game shooting. He went incredibly efficient. I believe 12 of 15 the other night.
Yeah.
Played one of the best games, I believe, in Gonzaga history down at USF. But
Williams with a block. Amayo, though, there to clear it or to grab it. And now LMU with another opportunity with 8 on the shot clock. And Amayo, the 3 ball is off. And Toch with the weak side tip flush.
Wow, coming out of nowhere.
get it.
Boy, Tosh. But to go back to Nigel Williams-Goss, that's one of the hardest things to do is to be as consistent as he has been this year. Every game but 2, he's been in double-figure scoring. As Jimmy puts on another little clinic on the right block. But Nigel Williams-Goss been in double-figure scoring every time but 2. He's ran the team. He's done a great job throughout the season of being consistent. You can't expect to have the level of output that he had at USF the other night.
Perkins the 3. Williams-Goss trying to keep it alive. The officials get together and decide that it was off of the Lions, so Gonzaga ball. And Trevor Manuel, number 13, checking back into the game for Loyola Marymount. Nigel Williams-Goss, one of his last 8. If we go back to the shot right before half, they actually counted that as an attempt. If they went back and looked at it, it wasn't even close to getting off before the horn went off, but they do count it. LMU trying to stay close. There is your Rockwood Health System play of the game. Deaconess Hospital, Valley Hospital, and Rockwood Clinic working together for you. Boy Tosh, the offensive rebound. And the flush, he's got 14 for the Lions.
Join us in a round of applause for our student athletes on their academic achievements for the fall 2016 semester.
Number 5 Gonzaga with a 54-38 lead against the Loyola Marymount Lions, the largest lead of the game now for Gonzaga. Zags 11 of their 17 field goals in this game have been assisted. And Boy Tosh for LMU, 5 of 8 from the floor. The rest of the team 9 of 30. You guys got anything for me?
Well, 11 of their first, or 17 of their first field goals made in the first half were assisted on by 11 times. Right? But
hey, this is a good one though.
What else you got?
Brock Salzman handing me these.
Is Brock feeding you bad information?
These little nuggets. No, only the best. Gonzaga's only turnover in their last possession. Their only turnover in their last 29 possessions. Taking care of the ball.
They have.
Near perfection. Like their record. 15-0. Boy, that was a lot of steps on that catch by Haney. Missed the shot. So Gonzaga with a 16-point lead and a chance to build on it. Here's Collins, high post. And he traveled. You can tell there's some hesitancy in him. A little stop and go in his hitch there. Wasn't sure what he wanted to do.
Sometimes it's difficult to realize, hey, I am as wide open on the block as I think I am. The fact that no one's coming to double or dig down of any kind can sometimes play tricks on you.
What's it say about how good he's been when he's shooting 58% in the league, and it seems like he's struggling. You have the foul in here. It looks like it's going to be on Killian Tilly. But hey, he's a freshman. Freshmen are going to have stretches throughout any season. As we take a look at the foul here, Tilly comes over, gets a lot of ball, but a lot of body as well.
I love Zach, though. I sat him down, did a long-winded interview a few weeks ago. What a solid kid.
Oh, yeah.
And the over and back call there.
Oh, he's so talented. And what you like about him is even when he's struggling, he's still active. He's trying to work through it. I think a lot of young kids, when they're having a stretch where maybe they're not playing as well as they'd like, it's not as if he's not playing well, but you know, he's having a stretch where he's not as happy with his performance. He's still grinding and trying to get back into a rhythm where he's happy. He's going to be fine.
The officials are together discussing something right now. Williams Goss ready to inbound it for Gonzaga. The thing I liked about Zach in that interview, obviously his parents did a great job. He's very composed, and they're going to take a look now to see if there was control established on the inbound pass. And to see if they got this call. So they're going to look at it. But Collins is so composed, and it's obvious there's all this talk about him in the NBA, early entry, all of that stuff going on. And he's very much about winning. He came to Gonzaga to win. And he told me flat out, look, I've never thought about whether I'm going to be here 4 years or 1 year. He says, I really haven't got a time schedule on it. He wants to win games and be part of a winning system and a winning program.
Yeah,
and that's why Dan came here, right? When he transferred in, he wanted to win. I mean, you can relate to that.
Well, hey, let's clean this up real quick. The ball is going to go back to LMU. What the officials were discussing was the fact that possession was actually never established on that backcourt. So it was an inadvertent whistle. With that inadvertent whistle, they went to the possession arrow. That possession arrow is going towards LMU. So we take a look here. Manuel doesn't actually ever control the ball. So if he just picks it up here, he can advance the ball back into the front court. Had the whistle not blown, that would have been a clean steal for Matthews.
But you love that extra effort.
But to your point, Greg, hey, Zach's he's a stud now. He's going to be a stud next year, 2 years from now, however long he's here. He's clearly a kid who's got a future at the next level. As we see a foul here on the perimeter.
Yeah, Tilly picks up his 4th personal foul as Jonathan Williams gets up off the bench, and he'll replace Tilly.
And I think the benefit for Zach is he really wasn't the guy in high school until his senior year. So, he had to learn what it meant to be a role guy coming off the bench. He played for a great program. So it's not as if he's coming in here with a big chip, a big ego. He's fit in incredibly well.
And turnover number 12 for Loyola Marymount. Going back to that interview that I did with Collins, it was a below zero morning here in Spokane. And he walked in, obviously grew up in Las Vegas where it's warm 365 days a year, but he walked into that interview with the biggest pair of Uggs I've ever seen in my life as Matthews scores with the left hand and a chance for 3.
Basket good by Jordan Matthews.
Jordan's put together a nice game here quietly. Tough finish. He has 6 points with 4 rebounds. He's been active defensively. I don't know a pair of Uggs. Do you?
No, I didn't even know Uggs made moves like that.
Are you thinking about it now?
No. I mean, he well, yeah. Chauncey Jones reminding us that Tom Brady, right? If Tom Brady wears them, we should all be wearing them. But
he's the gold standard for athletes in style, isn't he?
The other thing that I want, Jordan Matthews at the free throw line, I think everybody has kind of labeled him as a 3-point shooter. And when I've asked him about that, he almost got defensive and said, I have an all-around game. I love to put the ball on the floor and go to the rim. It's just they've asked me to shoot threes here, and that's what I'm going to do. But he believes he's an all-around player. You guys agree? We've seen
all players think they're able to do every aspect of the game. If you asked me when I played, I could post up.
How about the defense by Williams?
Great reaction from the weak side to go challenge it and block the shot, but Jordan Matthews also.
Collins
it was Collins.
It was recovery here. He steps up, stops the drive, and recovers, able to get the clean block up top.
He was there to clean it up. Had Collins missed.
Nelson knocked to the floor. Silas looking at the official. Boy, Tots just barreled right into him.
To quickly wrap the idea about Jordan Matthews is he's a great 3-point shooter. That's the main strength he brings to this team.
And he reminded me as we have 3 on the shot clock. And there's Collins with his second block in the same possession. Williams Goss on the move, and he is stripped and a whistle and a foul called. And a foul called on Boyd Tosh. That'll be his second, team's third. But Matthews also reminded me, he said, look, I shot 30% from 3 in high school. I was not recruited because I could shoot the 3 well.
No, he's right. His role in this team is to be a sniper. He's got a good handle. He's good in pick and roll. He's been a tremendous addition to the Bulldogs. We'll be back after the break, folks.
Yeah, well, I was like 3 or 4. I remember I had to go to the gym really early and do the Teletubbies episode. It's like a proud thing now. Like, it's like, you know, like I was a Teletubbies. That's like a legendary show. Like, I was always kind of freaked out by the characters. Like, this thing was like little aliens, but they're not bad. You know, like, so people always find, is this you? Yeah, that's cool.
To play. Gonzaga now leading LMU 56-38. We've been talking about Jordan Matthews. We'll go back to this interview that was done with him, and he talks about as a young boy in San Francisco, he was part of a Teletubbies episode. Check this out.
Yeah, well, I was like 3 or 4. I remember I had to go to the gym really early and do a Teletubbies episode. It's like a proud thing now. Like, it's like, you know, like I was a Teletubbies. That's like a legendary show. Like, I was always kind of freaked out by the characters. Like, this thing was like aliens, but they're not bad. You know, like, so people always find, is this you? Yeah, that's me.
And of course, his dad there at the time was the head coach at the University of San Francisco. His dad in his own right, kind of a legendary character in West Coast Conference history. Loved his dad. But Jordan, 3 or 4 years old, and I asked him the question, so why did they pick you? And he never really did answer that. It was odd, right? They picked this kid from USF, and he was in a Teletubbies episode. It has followed him around for years, and it was finally exposed recently.
And I'm happy. I'm sure he's happy and appreciative that you were the one who found that video.
No, I wasn't. No, I just asked the questions.
Where did you get the video?
So who does your research?
It's on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
But somebody had to search for that particular episode. I mean,
Yeah, I don't, honestly, it just popped up one day and became a story. You know how that goes, Richard.
I do.
You were taught by the great Dan Garrity here at Gonzaga.
Absolutely.
Here's McClendon back into the game for Loyola Marymount. He's a sophomore out of Pasadena, California. His touch again, aggressive, right to the rim, and he's got some hops and dumps the ball in.
Jonathan Williams coming from the weak side. Tosh does a great job of avoiding him for the finish.
He's got 16 tonight, Tosh. 6 of 9. He's knocked down a couple threes. Only player in double figures for the LMU.
And the lob, Collins falls through.
Good delivery there by Williams Goss. Get it up high where only Zach can catch and finish.
This is Brandon Brown. Jovanovic with the ball, but an offensive foul called on Matthias Markussen.
Good curl there off the pin down from Williams Goss. Both defenders go with him. Zach Collins to dive to the bucket. I'm sure he'd like that one again to finish with the flush, but he'll take the 2.
Pass was a bit behind him.
Always the point guard's fault.
I had the same thought, Greg.
Thank you, Richard.
Hey, Point guard's like the quarterback. You get all the credit, but you got to get.
Collins. Brown with the rebound. Gonzaga now 0 of 2 this half from behind that three-point line. And Loyola Marymount 0 for 3. I believe the line's at 6 of their first 8 from behind the arc. Brown falling away. Collins affected that shot. Clears the rebound. And Williams Goss with the basketball. The lob again. Collins the catch, the finish, and a chance for 3. Zach with 5 points.
You know, we talk about Karnowski drawing so much attention on the low block, but here on the pick and roll, 2 guys are forced to stay with Williams Goss. Collins now knows where to go on the weak side, and you know Williams Goss is going to get it to you if you're the big. Just get to the right spot on the floor.
Zach completes the 3-point play, 6 points, 4 rebounds. I can't get over how quiet it is in this arena.
Oh, it's mind-boggling. You've got Gonzaga undefeated on the season, ranked in the top 5 in the country. I know the students aren't here, and they're known for the kennel, but people are always asking, hey, how can I get tickets to the kennel and go see the Zags? Well, the few games the students aren't here, you've got an opportunity. Call the ticket office, see if you can't find tickets. Jonathan Williams gets a run out for the easy dunk, but this crowd, you finally get a chance to get in this building, create some excitement, be part of this atmosphere.
Boyd Touch, and there's his first make from behind the arc this half. He was 2 or 4 in that first half. He's a good-looking player for Mike Dunlap. I like his game.
Yeah, you talked about it, Dan, at the top. He's really improved his game this year. He's having a career night tonight as Collins gets blocked. And the ball goes out of bounds. Should stay with GU.
65-43. Silas Melson. Williams the catch, the easy finish. Zags rolling now.
Scored 40-plus points in a game versus LMU. Is the correct answer A0, B1, C4, or D2? Text your answer A, B, C, or D right now to 27297 for the chance to win food from Arby's. And stay tuned for the answer later in tonight's game.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
Welcome back. Tonight's Smiles of the Game brought to you by Delta Dental. A healthy smile is a powerful thing. Find the easiest way to take care of yours at deltadentalwa.com. Wow, look at those sunglasses. With tips and tools to keep you and your smile strong all season long. Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of healthy smiles and your Gonzaga Bulldogs. Yeah, that's a good effort out of everyone.
Why is it that when a camera comes in front of a crowd, people go crazy? I've always found that fascinating.
You have?
Yeah, I have.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk this through.
Richard was dumbfounded by that. And And the loose ball picked up. Brown on the move right at Williams Goss. And a foul called here on Nigel. And Nigel picks up his first 14 fouls. Williams here to make sure that that shot never made it to the rim.
Good job by Brown, pushing it in transition. Limited in numbers, 1-on-3, but his ability to get into the paint and really create some havoc has been impressive tonight.
And the turnover. It's number 14 for the Lions. Silas Melson, 3-ball, long. Williams had his hands on it, but boy, Toch doing it all for the Lions right now. He scored 13 of their last 16 points since the 4:37 mark of the first half. And loose ball picked up by Williams Goss. Off the miss by Amayo.
Williams thought about it from 3. Had already knocked down 2.
Nice lead. Oh, flush, missed it. Williams, though, gives Gonzaga another chance. And now the officials with the whistle are going to discuss the situation again.
I'm not sure, but they might be checking to see. I can't imagine they want to make sure the ball hit the rim. It's a shot clock issue, yeah. I mean, the ball just slips out of Zach's hands. Greg, that's why I always laid it up. That's why I always laid it up.
But it didn't always hit the rim, though.
You get that high, anything can happen. Nice power layup.
Silas Melson. That's why people love you so much, Richard.
Power layup, or?
Oh, just your sense of timing with your tremendous humor. Williams Goss on the drive and finish. And that puts Williams Goss into double-figure scoring with 11.
Oh, Gonzaga dominating on the points in the paint, 40-16, and they do it in so many different ways. Obviously, we've talked about Shemek Karnowski in the first half on the block. Zach Collins has gotten it going here in the second, but Silas can get into the paint off the bounce. Nigel Williams-Goss, Josh Perkins, they can just attack you in so many ways.
Toch has been everything offensively for Loyola Marymount. Karnowski has been for Gonzaga 15 of the last 17 Zag points scored by Shemek since the 6:43 mark of that first half. Amayo shot for 3 is off. Melson the rebound. Here's Shemek. Lifted for Matthews. And Jordan scores.
It's almost as if he's had enough of just scoring on the low block. He's looking for guys now.
He's like, this can't get this gaudy. I got to give it up. Shemek with 17 points on 7 of 10 shooting. And a timeout call by Mike Dunlap as we take a look at creativity personified. Shemek, the great leave from Matthews, and another assist.
Well, Matthews did what he needs to do. His man turns his back, basket cut, simply for the fact that you're available for a pass or you're in position for the offensive rebound, but Shemek drops it off to him almost when Matthews isn't expecting it, but it's a gift. I'll take 2 points at any time.
Only Williams Goss has more assists than Shemek Karnowski. Nigel with 5, Shem with 4, Perkins with 4 as well. There's your AP top 10. Gonzaga at number 5, unbeaten, 15-0. And you got to figure if they continue to win, they're going to be up close, if not at that number 1 spot before it's all said and done.
Well, Gonzaga's obviously got a enormous test, the biggest test so far this season against St. Mary's here at home on Saturday, where I hope the crowd comes out and really brings the energy, brings the effort, brings the excitement. But Gonzaga's got limited opportunities to really win marquee games and move up based on their own merit, as opposed to just moving up because other teams lose. Other teams in the Power 5 conferences have more opportunities to lose tough games that are going to affect them in the standings.
Now, should Gonzaga beat St. Mary's on Saturday, it would be their 5th win over top 27 ranked teams in the Associated Press.
And look, St. Mary's, not only are they really good, but you talk about, Dan, how this is important for Gonzaga, marquee matchup, yada, yada, yada. But the truth is, for St. Mary's, they need a banner victory.
Yeah.
That is what makes the Gonzaga game so important for St. Mary's, because they don't schedule to the same level that Gonzaga does. They really rely on getting those wins.
And the shot clock violation out of a timeout for LMU. That's a coach's worst nightmare, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's frustrating.
Come out of a timeout, you should have a set.
Yeah,
and you're not aware of what's on the shot clock.
Matthews' transition 3 is off. Tilly keeps it alive. Karnowski wanting the ball, and he gets it. Oh, into the corner. Melson the 3.
Just
love Marymount basketball.
Just gotta love how he's baiting the double team to come. And then once it's fully committed, he knows where guys are. He's delivering it on time and on target, and it's just up to guys making shots. That time, Silas doesn't knock it down, but that's a shot that you want him taking time and time again.
Little up and under, and a foul called on Tilly, and that'll be his 5th. And Shamar Johnson will go to the free throw line for Loyola Marymount.
Well, freshmen have a learning curve. And Killian Tillies was sped up tonight, fouling out in about 6 minutes. The Frenchman coming off a big effort at USF. Didn't quite find his groove here this evening.
He's replaced by Rui Hachimura, number 21. 6'8" freshman out of Sendai, Japan. And obviously has caught the fascination of a lot of Zag fans. He's as explosive a player that we have seen in this program.
And I like the fact that he's the replacement to Killian Tilly, who fouls out with a little over 8 minutes to go. I think Rui has an opportunity to play a role with this team as the season goes on. But it's hard to get comfortable and gain that experience when you're always playing 4 minutes at the end of blowouts. He's got a chance to play with the starting group right now, and this is big.
Perkins, 3 ball, good. Deep, Josh with 11. 3 of 4 from behind 3.
He hasn't been shooting the ball very well, shooting 30% over the first 3 games from the 3-point line.
Shot way off by Brown. Matthews. Perkins. Melson 3 ball from the corner.
Great extra pass there. Perkins passing up a good shot for a great one. Silas Melson in the corner.
You see how much more effective Gonzaga is on the offensive end when the ball swung. Right there, it's just 2 ball swings, but you force the defense to rotate, and that extra pass, you said it, Dan. And Josh has an opportunity to score there, but he gives up a decent opportunity for a better shot in the corner.
Nice offensive rebound and put back by Shamar Johnson.
That's one area that Rui will learn. He's used to, with his athleticism and length, being able to dominate on the interior. That time Johnson, a much bigger, stronger player, was able to root him out underneath and get the offensive rebound and putback.
Perkins thought he kept that pivot foot. The officials say he didn't. It'll be Loyola Marymount basketball when we come back with 6:51 to go. Josh, just the second 3-pointer. That was the first, Melson the second of this half.
All right, it's now time for the 20-minute shootout. Tonight, your lucky Zag fans are going to have a shot at winning $1,400, courtesy of your local Toyota dealers. Let's welcome our contestants to the floor. We have Scott, we have Maddie, and Keith. All right, Scott, you're up first. Let's do it. Knock it down. Take home $1,400. Is up, and it is.
This is brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Zag fans, show your Bulldog pride with your Go Zags debit card. Only.
See, we can knock this down $1,400. Thanks to Scott and Keith for coming out and playing tonight. 620 on the shootout, 20 around the Zags. Let's go places.
Gonzaga Hoops is brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Zag fans, show your Bulldog pride with your Go Zags debit card. Only at Numerica. 75-47 our score, 6:51 to go. Number 5 Gonzaga. Time now for a Subway sub of the game. And it is none other than Mr. Silas Melson. 8 points, couple of rebounds, 1 assist in 19 minutes.
He's been great.
You may not realize it, but many Subway sandwich shops are locally owned by people in your neighborhood, and you help support their businesses whenever you visit. Silas Melson, our Subway sub of the game.
Yeah, he's been great to start league, and you see what he's done now since the UW game. He's shooting over 43% from 3, so more effective from behind the three-point line, which really helps his drive game as he really has excelled attacking the rim throughout his career.
Here's Collins. Jovanovic there defensively. A little short on the shot by Zach.
His quick move, the catch was a little low, so when he goes over that shoulder, doesn't really have a look at the backboard as we see the foul inside. And it looks like it's going to be on Rudy.
Give from 2-2 there.
Yeah, Collins, pardon me, Greg.
And Shamar Johnson at the free throw line. Shamar with 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. You know, there's really an international feel for this Loyola Marymount squad as well. I mean, we talk about Gonzaga really recruiting the globe now, but Mike Dunlap has had to do that with a player from the Czech Republic, player from Sweden, Serbia, a couple from Sweden, and Tutu from Windsor, Canada. Collins.
What a luxury to have. You know, your 9th man, Rui Hachimura, freshman, just getting acclimated, the ability to attack the rim off the bounce and find Zach Collins.
Tipped out of bounds by Jordan Matthews. There's Rui. He's got the basketball body, doesn't he, Dan?
He's got the length, the athleticism that you rarely see at the WCC. He's more of a Pac-12 type athlete.
He's a high-level athlete anywhere in the country, quite frankly.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, an athlete like that is playing 82 times a year at the next level. And he is a guy who is going to have that opportunity if he continues to develop his skill and his understanding of the game. Right now, the thing that's really limiting him is the understanding of what needs to be done on the floor at this time for Gonzaga.
Collins got it back. And he'll go to the free throw line. And Stefan Jovanovic grabbed his arm. Zach get the ball back up to the rim cleanly.
His second personal.
So Zach at the line, 8 points now, 6 rebounds.
Only 3 of 10 from the field, Greg, but I've been happy to see on his catches. He's been assertive on his moves. Right there, he misses the initial jump hook, but a great catch, high up on the block, a nice turn over the left shoulder. And what you like about Zach and Killy and Tilly too is they go right after the offensive rebound when they miss the shot.
Guys, you talked about what LMU had to do to stay close in this game, and they did for a while, but if you look at those numbers, it was fleeting for them.
Well, LMU wanted the game in the 60s or low 70s at its best. And, you know, with over 5 minutes left, Gonzaga's pushing 80 points.
Mayo crazily goes to the rim, turns it over. And this now 17 turnovers, tying their season high. 5:11 to play. 2-2 with the deflection out of bounds as they try to get it to Alberts.
This is a unique lineup, something that I'm not sure the coaches expected at any point, because there's no true point guard out there on the floor at this time. Silas Melson would be the closest thing to a ball handler, a decision maker on the floor. But it's a good opportunity for Alberts and Jeremy Jones as well to improve their ability and their worth in breaking pressure and becoming a part of a rotation if necessary down the stretch of the season.
Tutu around Alberts into the paint. Well, there's a loose handle, tipped away by Brian Alberts. He's got Nelson on the right. Three-point shot on the way is good. Silas with 11.
Can't say enough about him and how he's accepted his role each season. You know, he's continued to evolve and grow as a player. And each team needs a glue guy, somebody who's willing to do all the little things, guard the other opponent's best perimeter player. Not worried about searching out shots, but when they present themselves, take them and then knock them down.
Nelson, the 6th zag into double-digit scoring. Melson, Collins, Williams, Goss, Perkins, and Karnowski. Shemek leading the way with 17. This is Jovanovic. Poked away again by Alberts. Gonzaga with the numbers. Bounce pass. Melson not clean. Reverse. It's good. Silas with 13.
Get a little bit of a golf clap from this crowd before they settle back into
You are on the
silence.
crowd tonight.
Well,
Holy
I just,
cow.
you know,
Just
Well,
coming at 'em.
they're not watching. Hachimura, coast to coast on the quick hammer.
well, that gets the crowd into it, that's for sure.
I mean, come on. You kidding me, Greg?
And now they're on their feet.
He gets from end to end as quick as any wing from Gonzaga I can ever remember.
You can't coach that.
Well, you can coach it, you just can't create it, right?
No, you can't coach that.
You
Guys
can't
either
coach
have that.
that.
Or
You can
don't.
coach him.
That's
You
an
can
instinct.
coach
No,
No,
you can
that
coach it.
particular
That
move.
particular, that ability is just either you have that or you don't. I mean, that was. I mean, he's in traffic. You know, you figure he's going to lay it up or get fouled, and just in stride.
Collins has his shot blocked by Matthias Marcusson. Maria Hachimura.
Go get it, Greg.
Coast to coast.
Go get it.
Oh, Rui.
This Saturday at 7 p.m. right here in the Gym.
86-51 our score with 2:59 to play. And Richard Fox and myself talking about things here as we take a look at Shemek Karnowski. Nice screen by Shem, 17 points, 4 rebounds, is one of his 4 assists. He's our A to Z rental player of the game. No job too big or too small. 8 convenient locations. We rent everything. Let A to Z rental be your most valuable player, and it is Shemek Karnowski.
There's 26 letters in the alphabet. He had 26 post moves tonight that worked effectively against this LMU defense.
And Richard, back to the term. You
Yes,
can't
I
coach that
apologize.
when we're talking about Rui.
You can't
it's
teach
always,
it. You can't teach it.
It's been one of those comments that's always driven me nuts.
And
when
I
people
don't
say
want
you
it.
can't coach
And
that.
I don't want to get you worked up. So I won't ever use that again.
You can coach it. Your coaching can't create that, right? That's
What I'm saying is
instinctual.
you can't teach that kind of move, that ability. You guys either have that now.
I mean, he's very coachable. Great kid, that really
Yes,
is.
I will do my best to avoid that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you make a mistake around Greg,
Man,
he's
I'll tell
going to
you
get
what,
you.
it's just-
Oh, around me, huh?
Yeah, it is,
That's beautiful. Jump shot on the way, off by Haney. And Rui again with the basketball. He's got Collins flashing. This is Dustin Triano. And Rui again. Oh, must be a wet spot on the floor there because a couple of players have slipped, and there's the over and back as Alberts picked it up. 86-51 our score. And right in front of us is Muniz Tutu, sophomore out of Windsor, Canada.
2-3 zone here from GU.
Ooh, Jeremy Jones almost had himself a steal and may have gotten a finger on it anyways. And another turnover for LMU, their 18th of the year, of the game. Their highest total in a single game this year. They've only scored 16 points this half, 35 in the first half.
Gonzaga's defense has done a great job driving them into the low 20s.
Bang! Zach with 13, 1 of 2 from behind 3.
Third 3 on the year.
Think about it, though. He's got that range. Williams has that ability. Tilly has that ability. Outside of Karnowski, everybody you throw on the floor can stretch you defensively.
Well, the fact that now, you know, he shows the ability a little bit more.
Well, you got to scout against him. That's my point.
Yeah,
even though it doesn't take a lot of them, you got to respect it.
You got to play for it and put it in your scouting report as an opponent. I mean, you got all 5 guys potentially at times on the floor that have 3-point range.
Shots did not hit the rim, so 10 on the shot clock. Jones has it blocked by Trevor Manuel. And the foul at the other end with 57.2 seconds to play. Well, gentlemen, they can start focusing now on showdown number 1 with St. Mary's. And remember now, St. Mary's beat Gonzaga in both of their regular season meetings a year ago. This is a huge game on Saturday.
There was a lot of doom and gloom in Spokane when St. Mary's swept them in the regular season last year before they put it all together in the conference tournament. But you know, St. Mary's returns all 5 starters, ranked 21, first in the country. They are as efficient of offensive team as there is in the country.
And of course, Richard, they'll come in here as a confident group.
Oh,
I mean, Randy Bennett is a good coach, and when you win games like that and you sweep the season series, including a game on this floor, I mean, you come in here confident.
yeah, you bring
It's the
everybody.
same team.
Yeah, I was just saying, you bring everybody back who, had that experience of sweeping Gonzaga in the regular season. I mean, that just does not happen. And, look, they control the ball. They don't turn it over. They've got an excellent backcourt. Obviously, Lawndale has been a really pleasant surprise for them. I mean, nobody anticipated he'd be as effective as he's been. So they've got a real interior presence. As we take a look at the standings coming into tonight, as per usual, you see St. Mary's and Gonzaga at the top, and it'll be interesting to see how teams start to spread out, particularly in the bottom half of the league.
And the 5th ranked team and the 21st ranked team. I don't know if we've seen a matchup in league play ever with those
It's been a
two
long
sort
time.
of rankings. I don't know if it's ever been the
Well, I
same.
mean, I think back on those Pepperdine teams.
Great catch by Jones and the finish on the run. You kind of see a glimpse of his athleticism that we haven't seen this year because of his injury, and then just the lack of space in the rotation.
Yeah, it's hard when you can't. When you're not ready to go to start a year, particularly with a team this talented. It's difficult to break into the rotation. Most years, he's going to have a role, but it says a lot about the guys in front of him. And this is such a deep team. It's hard to carve out a spot.
Three from the corner. Triano and Collins.
Collins wanted that rebound.
Zach got it. That's his 9th of the game, and that's going to do it. 90.